Hello and welcome to Forum IT, the show where we explore the ideas, technologies, and people shaping the future of IT&C, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, entrepreneurships, and innovation. I am Csaba Demeter, the host of this show, and if you enjoy our conversation that go beyond the headlines and bring practical insights, at least that is our aim, from the industry leaders, considering subscribing. It helps us continue bringing remarkable guests to the show. Today's guest is Grégoire Vigroux. I hope I said it correctly. A serial entrepreneur and a serious entrepreneur, I would say the same. Investor, author, and founder of several successful technology companies with 4 startup exits behind him, successful ones. His latest venture is eYOU. It's not about you, it's eYOU, an ambitious European social media platform built around privacy, transparency, AI-powered fact-checking, and a vision for a more trusted digital ecosystem. And yes, it is on Google Play and macOS down. Can Europe build a real alternative to today's dominant social media platforms? That is a very good question. Also, what would it take to rethink how online conversation happens? And can technology help reduce polarization instead of amplifying it? Let's find out all this. Grégoire, thank you and welcome to the Forum IT.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
We've been talking for quite some time and challenging each other when to meet and when to have this podcast. I think it's just on the right moment for you, because I just saw a headline from your company, from your crew, your team, that you passed 100,000 users in eYOU. How does it feel having this number?
It feels like a big responsibility because we are not building any tech startup company. We are building social media. And especially in today's very polarized world, we are entering in something that is much more difficult, much more challenging, much more exciting as well than any other company that I've launched in my entire entrepreneurial life. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. But the social media roller coaster is the first time. Mm-hmm. It's definitely an interesting journey.
Yes, I think I know a couple of presidents who also launched their own platforms. I hope that you are sticking to the platform part and not also running for the presidency, but you never know. But talking about on a different level, I would like to understand, you already mentioned, and I tried to also introduce you a little bit in the intro, you're a serial entrepreneur. However, the idea of this eYOU platform, social networking platform, how did it arrive in your head, and then how did it materialize in a first wave, for example?
It all started last year. I went on my X account. I used to be an early believer and a big fan of Twitter in the early days. Mm-hmm. But last year, I get on my X account, and my entire feed is all about Elon Musk. I never followed Elon Musk. I don't like the guy. And I realized on that day, how come something that was created to connect people, namely a social media platform, ends up in the hands of one guy for business power, mm-hmm. and with a political agenda in mind, because we know very much the guy's intrusion in European politics and not only. And then that day I realized that we might want to do something when it comes to social media. Shortly after came the Romanian presidential elections. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Georgescu was credited of 2% in the polls, ended up leading by far the first round of the Romanian presidential elections. And we know that TikTok played an important role in this. And then came the second round of the Romanian presidential elections. And if you're on Telegram, like me, you received a message from Pavel Durov, the CEO and founder mm-hmm. of Telegram, mm-hmm. sent to all Romanian users of Telegram, accusing France of interference in the Romanian elections without bringing any evidence, and doing this exactly in the day of the elections in order to influence the voters. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, Gata, I'm done with X, I'm done with Telegram. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, for me, it's increasingly superficial. What is my role in society is to identify big problems and to bring big solutions. The problem is obvious. Social media is broken. Why? Because social media is no longer social. Social media is no longer media. So why don't we build a social media platform that we would love to have as users? But you know, my journey as an entrepreneur has been nothing but just a journey of humility, because I had my setbacks, my failures, and something I've learned across the year is I'm no genius. Me and my business partner, Jassim, we said, like, we know that there might be something to do in terms of building a very nice, beautiful, and meaningful social media platform, but let's not, out of the blue, build something because we believe it's going to work. Let's try to understand what people want to have. So we did a big survey. We invited 400 people to complete the survey, 35 questions, very interesting feedback. Then we ran 10 focus groups with roughly 10 people in each focus group, so that we could have quantitative research, qualitative research, in order to understand exactly what people want. And all those Europeans who were part of this process told us several things. Number one, disinformation. Fake news is a big problem of our time when it comes to social media. The figures are absolutely incredible. Fake news spreads 6 times faster than real news on social media. So for our users, the first promise was, we are going to build up a social media platform that fights disinformation. How? With a fact-checking system on every video, every picture, every post. That was the birth of eYOU.
That really strikes me. I note down the following things, which really, it's amazing. I was actually awaiting that you said that I had this idea 10 years ago. We started to work on this 8 years ago. And then we had beta 1 and beta 2 and beta 3 and beta whatever. And 2 years ago, we launched it. And now we have 100,000. But you started the idea 1 year ago. And you already have a product which has been downloaded at least 100,000 times. And there are users. I'm a user of your platform. And it's really interesting.
Thank you very much.
And that's amazing how, in what times we are living, that so fast you can start a product which is very complicated to be done, and we know the algorithms behind, because you also have some algorithms probably. There's no way around probably. But tell me about the journey from this year. What have you learned? Because you also mentioned that you learned a lot in this process. What have you learned?
So you know the fable of the turtle and the rabbit, right? And in the fable, who wins?
Usually the turtle.
The turtle. That's not applicable at all for the world of tech startups. The turtle has never won. The rabbit always wins in tech startups. The rabbit might go a bit too fast, but it's never too fast. When we launched eYOU, we were clearly not ready. We launched in a quick and dirty mode. Our app was clearly not final. But something that we've learned across the path of my business partner and I, we have been entrepreneurs for 20 years. We've learned that very, very much. You have a powerful idea that is backed by the market, because we had a very short beta testing phase. We had all this feedback that I mentioned earlier through the surveys, that we have a minimum viable beta version. We just launch it. And you know what? We are not going to wait too much. We are going to do a public launch in a beautiful location, and we are going to be all across the media. And if some people come on our app and believe, oh, it's not as good as Facebook or X, who have been around for many years, that's okay. We can live. We can have them lost, and maybe they will never come back. But those who come, who understand that, they want to stay, who promote our app through word of mouth, then these people have been with us since day one. So I think that moving fast is probably the most important thing in any startup environment. So we had a very, very short time since we launched, because we launched on May 5th, right? So it's 8 weeks from now, at the time when we record this podcast. And everything has been so fast. We included the video only yesterday, right? Video came only yesterday. Yes, it's the name of the game, video, when you talk about social media. Probably some other entrepreneurs would have said, like, we don't launch till we don't have the video, because it's all about videos, like now on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, even on LinkedIn increasingly. You know what? We don't have video, that's okay. We still deploy and we work hard. It's not only about having a very short time frame of 8 weeks to reach 100,000 users. It's also about being super agile with a team of 4 people. It's me and my business partner, and we have 2 additional people in the room. And you know what? We will talk maybe a bit later about this. We're also raising money, but just a little part of the money will be dedicated to increasing the team. Because I believe at the age of AI in the rise of tiny teams. I made this mistake several times of receiving money through VC funding or through business angels and said, like, now we have enough money. We need to have lots of people covering lots of different roles. The problem is that the cost and the time and the energy and the nerve that you spend hiring people thinking that they could match the position, do a good job, and then if it does not work well, you need to fire them. So it's creating, you get tired emotionally as well. We want to keep it super, 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 super small. We want to operate in a SWAT mode. And this is exactly what is going to make us successful because we have made so many mistakes in the past. This one needs to be perfect execution in terms of controlling time and controlling the very, very limited resources, even though we need to work 24/7. And my wife, she's very pregnant. We are expecting a kid in 1 month. Guess what she does? She works 10 hours per day taking care of the moderation of the platform. Why? Because we realized that we needed someone we trust who could handle the social media moderation because we didn't expect to have so many users so fast. So we ended up being typically overwhelmed by messages. People coming on eYOU saying, oh, hello eYOU, tagging us. I'm new here, just to engage with them. Hello, welcome to our platform. We are here, exactly, community management part. You know,
I open your app at least one per day, and it strikes me like almost, I would say, maybe it's my impression only, almost every day there's a notification like it has been upgraded, please upgrade.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot of upgrades, which probably enlarging also the functionalities or packages of patching things and so on and so on. I would like to come back. You mentioned the political events in Romania, and not only in Romania. Have you planned on 2026 as a specific year to launch, or it just happened to 2026?
I wanted to launch a social media platform for many, many years. I was not waiting for the perfect timing. I was waiting for the perfect business partner.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, even though the timing is quite good in our case, we got lucky, but luck is 50% of success in entrepreneurship. So yeah, we got lucky with timing for sure. I was waiting for having the best possible business partner also. So I saw the political environment, the fact that everybody is now talking about digital sovereignty in Europe, our dependence with big tech, etc. At Brussels, in Paris, in Berlin, even in Bucharest, we talk about this, right? So that was number one. So timing was great, as I said earlier, but having the best possible partner is great. So Jassim is French Mauritian. He has both citizenships. He is a tech genius. He is a product genius. We are two co-founders. And what I believe also is something that I've learned across the years is whenever you start a business, never start alone because you can't be good at everything. And if it's very emotionally intense, you want to have a business partner, exactly a sparring partner, because some days you are going to be down in terms of mood. You might be depressed, the other one might be in a better day. So I believe that two founders is actually the ideal number of founders, and I believe in complementary of profile. Once again, my business partner is a tech genius and product genius, and my side is more like sales, business development, communication, and marketing. So we are fully complementary. I believe that if we execute well, we will reach our target, which is 1 million users in 1 year from now. Actually, by June 2027, we want to reach 1 million users. That's our target.
I will call you up on June 2027.
Please do so.
1 million users I'm writing down.
If I'm way lower than this, we will laugh about this together. If the company died, even more. But if we crash this number,
we will have another podcast
5 million.
on June 27, and we will discuss this. If somebody visits, if downloads, because now for the moment it's only the mobile version is out, right? We don't have a desktop version, correct?
No desktop version because we would be too vulnerable to Russian bots. So the reason why we only have the app version is because we are very, very strong. It would be very difficult to be attacked by army of bots.
Okay. Good. So
the day we introduce desktop, we are more vulnerable. So we are working on this to be able to launch without being too fragile.
Someone who visits your downloaded app, either on Android or iOS, and it takes the first glance and it says, it's just another Facebook. What is he missing out actually?
First of all, fact checking. Okay. Every single post, video, even picture goes through a fact checking system.
AI or human?
7 LLMs compete in order to provide the most accurate answer. So lately, we had people saying things like, okay, man never walked on the moon or Earth is flat. Well, try this on our platform, and I can tell you that our fact-checking system is going to debunk your post, taking every single claim and give you a comprehensive explanation. No, Earth is not flat, and this is why, with explanation, with external sources.
It helps you if you are subconsciously or involuntarily or making
wrongly documented.
Okay.
If it's a subjective matter, if you say like green is a nicer color than blue, fact-checking is not going to get the universe. This is a subjective claim. But for all objective claims, the fact-checking works beautifully. Okay. That being said, and we are embracing feedback so much because this is how we grow, some users say like, I would like to challenge your fact-checking system, even though it works with 7 different LLMs. Why different LLMs? Because in case one hallucinates, it's taking out of the equation. Also, French LLM like Mistral has a French bias because it's been built in France. OpenAI is biased with the USA. So 7 LLMs help us provide a more accurate, more objective fact-checking. That's very important. That being said, since yesterday morning, any user can now challenge a fact-checking. So you have the fact-checking results. You can go and say, no, fact-checking, I don't agree with you. And you bring your own explanation and you bring your own sources.
Okay.
So this is
like an appeal.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is that not only we find this information, but we create debates, constructive debates.
All right. So we have fact-checking and then we have challenging fact-checking. So these are very two important differentiations. What else can somebody understand that the difference between eYOU and any other social media platform?
I like to call these killer features, and the reason why this one, and I'm going to tell you the other ones right now. It would be a mistake to believe that eYOU would create, if eYOU would be just a copycat of Facebook or X, it could work just because it's European and because the data of our users in Europe. This does not work. We need to bring killer features, things that the other media players from China, exactly, differentiator from China and America do not provide. Killer feature number 1, fact-checking. Killer feature number 2 is live feed connected to AFP, Agence France Presse, and Reuters. You know how it works because you've been a successful journalist. So when you work in media, you get the news from news dispatch agencies. Radio, TV, written press, you get those news dispatch, news wires.
Yes.
And we thought, like, why don't we include them? And we have partnership with Reuters and AFP in real time, so that we are the first ones to provide the news. And this is why we decided to partner with both entities. So recently, the Ukrainians bombarded an area of Moscow with some drones. We got the information on our app 2 hours before a BBC, a Le Monde, or a Romanian TV News. Why? Because we get the raw information directly on our platform. And why is it important? It's important because 30 to 40% of social media users, they claim that having access to news before everyone else is one of the most important things for them. So feature number 2 is this newsfeed. Another feature killer is it's not an idea that came from us. It came from one user who said, like, guys, I love eYOU, but there is only one feed. I said, yes, of course, there is one feed. It's a social media, like the other. I said, like the other, there is one feed. I said, why don't you have several feeds so that I can move from one feed to another? We built 28 different feeds. You can download if you download the last version of the app in case you didn't see the 28 different feeds. Depending on the mood of the day, you can go from one feed to another. There is one feed about politics, photography, humor, etc., etc. Even anime, it can be, these are 28 very, very different areas. And you can, as a user, decide to remove some of the feeds from your user experience. So that's killer feature number 3. And the 4th one, and it's going to be my last one, but it's the most important one, to be implemented in 3 weeks from now. Bear with me.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I love it.
We have already video.
It's called, the video is it's just like other platforms, but no. It's named the digital twin. What is the digital twin? The digital twin, all the information that we collect about you as a user, through the comments that you made on posts or through your own posts, are collected, processed, and we give you a few paragraphs about yourselves. So for me, we did it recently. It was amazing. He said, Greg, French entrepreneur in love with Romania, ADHD, wear black t-shirts. I'm not kidding. Mostly wear black t-shirts. A level of accuracy, which is, and me as a user, I have access to my digital twin.
Okay, and to use it where?
I am the only one to have access to this digital twin. Those are paragraphs, and I can modify it in real time. So if I no longer like football, for example, but I start loving cars, I'm going to modify the paragraph about what I like and say, remove the part about football, say that now I'm interested about cars, so that my user experience on the platform, I'm going to have access, I'm going to be exposed to contents that are aligned with what I want to see. That's number one. Second of all, I can remove my digital twin at any time. I have access to it. I'm the only one that have access to it. I can remove it and start from zero. So it's a very much of a revolution in the world of social media, because we are the first social media company in the world to give users access to their own data. That's full control. Wow. It's your digital twin.
All right.
I love it.
Because that's what I wanted to ask you. My next question would be about the recommendations. You must have a certain algorithm behind it, which uses the public or not public, the individual level public digital twin information, and then it recommends you A, B, or C in your feed, right?
Yeah.
How are you making sure that it's not? Sometimes what I encounter with the certain social media platform, it's sometimes boring. It's okay, maybe because I work in marketing and I know how certain algorithms work and why am I targeted with this post or that ad or something like that. Is it something different or the same? The management of the recommendation. So for now, it's mostly driven by the categories, the 28 categories in which the content fall into. Okay.
With 100,000 users, we don't have enough content to give you access to certain contents rather than others when it comes to one category. Someone posting something about politics is going to go into the politics feed together with other contents. However, the posts that are going to have, of course, most traction, those that are going to get the most likes, most comments, and most shares, they are going to appear first in the feed.
Makes me curious. How did you manage to convince the first users to join eYOU? Was it, the close circle of the 3Fs, or who? How?
It was a big leap of faith, because we are coming to people. It was that long time ago, actually. It was. I told you the launch was 8 weeks ago. So we are going to build a social media app. People say, like, are you guys crazy? You believe you are going to go and take the fight on with X, Meta, and TikTok? I said, yes, of course. But are you crazy? Do you know what is the percentage of chances you have to take that fight? And I said, man, entrepreneurship is the art of defying the odds. Because when you are looking at tech startups in Europe, 80 to 90% of them never reach their 4th birthday. The world of startup is a gigantic graveyard. It's a big cemetery. If you're not crazy enough to believe, and I'm crazy enough to believe, that your company can become a unicorn and decacorn and really, in our case, be as big as Meta, then don't even launch, don't even start. By having this very authentic way of putting things, some of the people said, guys, I believe in you. I want to be among the first users. That's number one. So the boldness, the entrepreneurial boldness seduced people. And of course, the values that we communicated since the beginning, eYOU. So the name of our company is eYOU. It's a reference, of course, for European Union, because we want more sovereignty. We want more European values in the digital world. but eYOU actually comes from empowering the users to actually have the control over the platform. This is why starting September, we are going to have these hackathons in which we invite groups of people, and they are going to have the possibility to come with new features, ideas to improve their mobile application, in order to include the user as much as we can in the platform. I spend 2 hours per day on the platform in order to interact with the people, and my business partners seem even more. We are there. We are a user like you. If you have some ideas on how to improve the app, let us know. We are building this with the community. We want so much to involve the community of early believers that we give badges. So if you are among the top 50,000 users on the platform, you receive the early believer badge. If you start recommending people, you will receive those badges that you recommend.
You made a gamification part.
We gamified. We thank you for being an early believer. We thank you for giving those referrals, for bringing your friends there. We don't give you money, but we give you attention. We show you our appreciation. And actually, people love this. This is the beautiful community that we are building. It's a safe space. Toxic people are taken out as much as possible. We are very much paying attention to this. This is a safe space. This is why people come, especially from X. X has become, frankly, I'm sorry to say this, but garbage. Really, I mean, I couldn't stand X anymore. We really wanted to build something different. I don't want to look too arrogant here because, okay, we are very humble in terms of numbers. It's only 100,000. Are we going to reach the million? I'm not even sure. In case we reach the million, that's great. Then it will be 10 million, then 100 million. So we need to be humble. But
challenges will change over time. I'm sure about this.
Yeah.
What for the next year? What are your plans? What are your milestones you want to reach? If somebody wants to follow your success and to see whether you are reaching the milestones, what are those? And besides, of course, you already mentioned the 1 million. You also need some funding for it, I'm guessing, and you are raising money for it.
25 million users by 2030. That's the target. We need lots of cash because we don't monetize, actually, and this is also one of the important things. People call us crazy, and when they say like, okay, complicated job, but how are you making money? We don't want to make money now. Why? Because we want to focus on user acquisition, user retention, user satisfaction, and in order to have those three, that are all, of course, linked, correlated. We can't stop. We can't start and having advertising publicity tomorrow. We can't ask the people to have to pay for using their accounts. Once we will have reached a critical mass of 15, 20 million users on our platform, yes, of course, we can ask them, guys, now it's time for us to start making money because it's a business, it's not an NGO. What do you think we should do? Would you pay money to be on the platform? Is it €1 per month? Is it €10 per year? Or are you okay to be exposed to advertising? By the time we will ask the question, probably there will be new models of monetization, because when you look at Meta, X, and TikTok, the monetization today is completely different from 1 year ago. That was completely different from 2 years ago. So maybe there will be new monetization model. We will be responsible in terms of monetization. We want to stay true to our values. Our values are trust and transparency. It's very important. The day we lose those values, we lose our user base, those 15 to 20% of users who post every single day, recommend our platform every single day, and who are basically our best ambassadors. This core user base is actually much more important than the remaining
so you will be focusing on the engagement and the maintaining of the community spirit also.
Yes.
And in the meantime, of course, you want to attract the lookalike audience, which values transparency, which values privacy, which values trust, which values qualitative information and fact-checked information.
Exactly.
And all this within your lovely app, eYOU. It's eYOU.
eYOU social on Google Store and Apple Store.
Should anybody know anything else besides what we have talked about eYOU and it's important for you to mention?
Yes.
Closing to the end of this podcast.
Yes, I think we all all the time we need to come back to the most important thing. The most important thing is eYOU is built for the users, by the users. And because you asked me a question that I didn't answer, it makes a good connection here. You asked me about the money, how are we going to fundraise? Well, we are going to fundraise, yes, 1.3 million euros. We already have commitments from business angels right now. But you know what? Starting September, we are going to run a crowdfunding campaign. Not because it makes sense from a business point of view, but because through this crowdfunding campaign, we are going to invite all our users. They are all going to receive an email, exactly, and we say, look, you know what? Not only you are a user of the platform, not only you've been an ambassador of the platform, but we want you to be an investor on the platform. Join this crowdfunding campaign. You will own a bit of this company. I believe in this very democratic way of envisioning the business myself. We're also thinking maybe we should do a board of users, you know, like we could select top 10 users and to meet once per quarter to ask them, this is what happened the past quarter, this is what we have in mind for the next quarter, please challenging us.
Users.
Exactly. It's all about eYOU. eYOU stands for empowering users. I think that as long as we will be loyal to this principle, we will be unbeatable and we are going to grow like crazy. Now let's see in 1 year when you invite me again, if I would have been looked stupid saying this, if we will be in the target or if we would have crashed it, we'll see. The entrepreneur.
Definitely you are on the move. I can tell from what I learn about you, following you and hearing you now. I know that you are very doubling down on privacy and also on transparency. So, Greg, we have a closing tradition. We have a secret question which was left by the guest who was before you, which is not yet published. So you do not know who was it. And he left you a question, and you will have the chance and the honor to leave a question for the next guest.
I love the game. It's a very good idea.
The question left for you, I will translate because it is written in Romanian. How do you make yourself, put yourself in equilibrium on the medium and long term when you are feeling after a period of time that what you are doing is not anymore aligned with you?
I'm sorry, I have ADHD. I'm not sure I got the.
Okay.
Can you summarize it?
How you balance yourself on medium and long term when you feel after a period of time that what you are doing is not anymore aligned with what you feel, what you are, what you think, but you are, because of the momentum, you're doing things.
Yeah. In order to stay true to my core values and who I am, when I feel that I'm a bit far from what I am and what I want to achieve and who I am deep inside, I'm doing something quite silly. I go in the forest, in Băneasa forest, in next to Bucharest, not far from my place, and I walk in the forest and I ask myself the question: is it really me? Was it the decision that I made or the action that I've made? Is it really matching who I am, who I truly am? So I know it sounds a bit silly, a bit naive, but at the contact of nature, being all by myself, walking in the forest, this is the best possible environment for me to get back on my inner myself. Yeah.
It's not at all silly, and you can relax on it. I have the chance to talk with brilliant minds like you. I remember Mr. Adrian Bejan, author. He's living in the US. He was also mentioning this type of therapy, self-therapy, while pandemic hit. And I also remember the discussion I had with Iris van Ooyen, who, of course, she's a lovely person. She can teach you grounding. And yes, walking in nature is part of it. So, Greg, thank you very much for this inspiring conversation. We will meet in 1 year and hope that it will be more than 1 million users of eYOU. I wish you not luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in courage, in momentum, and doing what you feel that you have to do. And then that's authenticity.
Mulțumesc foarte mult. Mulțumesc din suflet.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for this inspiring conversation. And today, we explored whether Europe can build its own social platform for Romania, how AI can help create healthier online conversation, and what it really takes to challenge the biggest technology companies in the world. Yes, the biggest ones. Thank you for watching this episode of Forum IT. If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to subscribe and share it with some who would find it valuable. I'm Csaba Demeter. Thank you for joining us. Remember, the conversation continues. Good decisions happen when the truth becomes clear.